Well, we had a pretty interesting week of statistics. Statistics generally were decent. They were good. They weren't great, but they were good. Certainly, as reported by the CPI and PPI, there is absolutely no inflation anywhere to be found. Actually, we're probably more in danger of deflation at this stage than anything else. For some reason, I'm not worried about deflation, not with the Federal Reserve printing so much money. It just seems illogical to think that we're going to have deflation. Industrial production shot up surprisingly over 1% in November after falling in October. And of course, fall in October was blamed on Sandy, and then the increase was also blamed on Sandy. You know, all the reconstruction and everything going on in the Northeast. So we're really not going to get a good sense of exactly what that number is. And the unemployment claims also shot down. We're down 20,000+ and below, 4-year low. But that information is also influenced by Hurricane Sandy, and plus we're in the holiday season, so there's hiring going on temporary. We won't get a good sense of that number till mid-January also. So we really can't look at those numbers and try to gauge what's going on. However, I do believe, and I've said this before, that it looks like China and Europe are bottoming out, and as far as their economy is concerned. China's stock market and Europe's stock market looks like it's starting to rise. And the stock markets are the best leading economic indicators. So I think you have to look at them and decide whether you think that their slowness, that Europe is finally finding a bottom in their fiscal and economic malaise, and China as well, China, India, are they now going to start increasing their growth rates instead of shrinking their growth rate? Neither one of them didn't go into recession. That's not the issue for Asia. The issue there was a shrinking of growth down to 6.5%. Now, with the new government in China, are they going to spark growth? And I think they are. And I think we've seen the bottom. We already see, if you can see the chart behind me, that's FXI, which is the Chinese index, ETF, that we can trade here in the U.S. And you can see it's already moving. I don't know if you can tell, but it has already been moving. So I just think we might want to consider stepping our toe in both Europe and China at this stage. We should continue a rally. The fiscal cliff is on everybody's mind, and the debate, the argument, the negotiations are going to go back and forth, and they're going to swing the market up and down. But this feels like the market believes that there's going to be an agreement. May not be in December, might be in January, but there's probably going to be agreement. Both sides are at loggerheads. The Republicans don't want to raise taxes on anybody. President Obama wants to raise taxes on the rich, whoever they are, and doesn't want to cut spending, where the Republicans want to cut spending, real spending, not fake spending. And what you're probably going to have is some middle-of-the-road agreement that really doesn't do anything too much. Isn't that the way our politics work? And if that agreement comes, no matter what it is, taxes are probably not going to rise for most people, and the economy is probably going to get a little bit stronger into the new year. The stock market will like that.
If you're an iPhone user, there is now an easy way to get InvestTalk delivered right to your iPhone or iPad without having to sync the device to your computer. This feature can allow you to listen to InvestTalk right away, as soon as it's published every weeknight. Here are the easy steps to get this done. First, make sure you have installed the latest iPhone update. You then can download the podcast app from the App Store. You can do this as you would add any app on your iPhone or iPad. Once you have the new podcast app installed on your device, if you're not currently subscribed to InvestTalk, just search for it in the search box. And remember, there are 2 T's in InvestTalk. Make sure your subscription is turned on and the auto download is also turned on. Your episodes will now be delivered automatically as soon as they're published. Let us know how you enjoyed the InvestTalk podcast, and do us a favor. leave us some feedback on the podcast in the iTunes Store. We love hearing from you, and thanks for listening.